Yo, boys, back with another video. Today we're going to be doing good old-fashioned Assassination Rogue. I know a lot of people wanted Assassination, and I honestly wasn't even going to do it for a while, but I decided to do it because obviously, you guys wanted another one. I ain't gonna lie, you guys are in love with the guides, even though I make them so frequently that nothing's changed in WoW. Like, nothing changes in WoW, so like whatever I say, it could be like 3 months old, and it's most likely gonna be the same thing. Because again, the game doesn't necessarily switch at all. It's like the same rerun. It just doesn't get updated ever. Nothing gets nerfed, and if something gets nerfed, it's by like 2%. It's like all that good stuff. But we're gonna be going over this quick again, and if you guys want a guide on this, like as in, let me be in the game and like, just give you a regular showdown in the game, I can do that as well. But pretty much just giving you guys the basics. I'm running a different build than the other video, so this is like the number one solo shuffle build that I found, and I was like, well, I'll copy this. So, um, overall, it's pretty much the same thing as it used to be. You're just, putting up bleeds, doing your echo, hitting your echo with the venoms, and then you're just Kingsbane death marking. That's about it. There's nothing really, too special about it. But other than that, that's pretty much all there is to it. But we're gonna get to the video here. So we're gonna start with gear. Now gear is pretty basic. I just go full mastery because obviously haste for assassin in general is bad because you just want max dam. It does like not having energy, but you'll have energy with the Thistle teas at least. I run the double crit weapons. I do run the badge trinket so I can have more shadow dance, uptime burst. You can run the haste trinket, but I just run the badge. I don't even play assassination really. Like the last time I played it was back in. It's been a minute. I think whenever week 2 or 3 was out of the season, that's when I played it. So it's been a long time since I like ever logged on. After it got nerfed the first additional time and it was like unplayable for a while before the buffs. Yeah, I just never decided to go back to it. So that's pretty much your gear, pretty basic, all the basics here. Now with your macros, I use the Shadow Dance here. Let me get to the right one so you guys can get it. Let's see, the first one is gonna be right here. So it's gonna be cat slash cast Shadow Dance slash use Blood Racial. Obviously, I'll have all this down in the description. So I know I have people that are older in the good old fashioned, that are watching this. So just go ahead and look at the description. Go to macros. Just copy paste it. A lot easier. And that's pretty much that. Nothing really too interesting with that macro. I do have also my stat macro that I put in every rogue video pretty much. Let's get that real quick. It's going to be sap times 2. This one's actually, yeah, sap times 2. So this is basically the same thing. It'll be in the description. Just go ahead and copy it. All it does is when you click it, it'll sap anything in front of you. It's really good for stealthy versus stealth. Like if you're facing a Resident Druid or a Sub Rogue or a Hunter and you're trying to get them out of stealth, best thing for you. But that's pretty much your macros. Now, if you're curious with my targeting, so all I do for my targeting pretty much is it's pretty simple. Let me find it here. So keybinds, targeting. So you'll go to the target nearest enemy player, and then you'll put your keybind on it. That way, you're not, when you click your tab or however you're targeting, it's not going to target the pets. It's only going to target whoever's in front of you. So that's how I do that because obviously I don't have a mouse with keybinds. Even if I did, it would still take me a very long time to get used to it, so I just use tab. This game's too old to actually care about it. So I just good old fashioned tab to target and we out here. I am running 4-set, but I'm going to I still think 4-set's good, but it might not be the meta. So while I am checking this, because I don't, you guys are gonna have to bear with me here. So while I'm checking this real quick, it'll only take me a second just to see if they're running 2-set or 4-set. I'd assume they're just running 4-set to be honest, but maybe not. It looks like it's 2-set. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna be 2-set, and I will have somebody down in the description. So if you were looking for armory for Assassination Rogue, go ahead, go to the description. I'll link the guy, and you can just obviously copy paste him because he's gonna know better than I am because he's maining Assass. I main sub, so there are certain things that might be better for Assass than sub, but who knows? And my gear's kind of outdated in the first place. If this is not the current meta for sub, because obviously I don't play sub. I literally just log on and send gold over. I'm running out of gold. I got 1.5. Ooh, them carries been coming in handy. So that's pretty much that. Now we're gonna go with the add-ons. Add-ons, ability team tracker, self-explanatory. Just tracks your teammates' cooldowns, big debuffs. You really want this. That's self-explanatory. A lot of these are just the basics. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we've went over this video so many times. Even the new people are like, they're getting annoyed with how I'm doing this. So capping, details, all the basics. Nothing that's changed. Nameplate cooldowns, omnibar. I only use omnibar if I'm casting. So if I'm on a caster and I just want to look at kicks, I'll run an omnibar. But if I'm on a melee, then I don't care too much because I can just look at the nameplates and I'm good. Because I'm always going to be up on the target. So if you're a caster, I'd get omnibar. Otherwise, you don't really need it, but it's your call. Nameplate cooldowns, obviously. Omni CD, really good. And that's all my add-ons. Well, actually, no, it's not. S Arena updated. So S Arena updated is obviously, the thing that shows here. So again, self-explanatory. You just test it. I switched mine a little bit around, so there's that. But otherwise, that's pretty much all there is to that. And then Trophy GCD, just, it's for my video purposes. I don't really do it for anything else. So you can have it if you're like recording or gameplay and seeing, but that's usually what details is. But you can do whatever you want with that. But that's pretty much your add-ons. Now for your rotation, I think that we got over everything. Gear, roto, add-ons, macros. Okay. So now for your burst rotation, all you're going to do, so when you run out there, you want to sap the healer. If you can't sap the healer, you want to blind the healer. So you're getting sap or blind out of the way immediately. So let's say you're facing a druid. You're going to open, start putting your bleeds up, and then the druid comes out, blind the druid. And then off that, you can try to sap, or you can just get your burst going. It doesn't really matter. As Assassination Rogue, the best thing about Assass is you don't really need CC. All it is you bleed everything. Now, the reason Assass or Rogue right now, or Assassination in general, isn't even that good is because it dies insanely quick. So by the time you get your bleeds running, you're going to get millisecond CC'd. You're not going to be able to play the game. Assass is not a fun... I mean, honestly, Rogue in general right now, it's kind of just in a questionable spot. It's like back to a stun ball in every respect now, but Assassination is probably the best out of all, like probably the more fun. Outlaw is definitely the best, but Assassin is definitely the most fun spec out of all of them. Because it's like you don't really need qualifications and you can always do damage. So pretty much all you're going to do is, let's say you can't sat, or let's say this is your damage right here. So you're going to open, you're going to grow every target that's possible. So as you can see, Grow deals 80% increased damage and has no cooldown. So for your subterfuge, when you come out, you want to be garroting everything you can. Every single target should have a garrote. Maybe not the healer if you're trying to CC him, but everybody that you plan on going, which you should be double bleeding 100% uptime. Now, sometimes if they're spread out and they're double casters, it's not going to happen. But, whenever you're swapping to them, put them bleeds up and then just swap back. Because, like, having bleeds up on 2 targets at a time is always good. So that way, you're just getting extra pressure. So you're going to open, pretty much run out there, garrote, garrote, garrote. Boom. So we got our garrotes up. Now at this point, we're going to full rupture. And we're just getting our ruptures up. So at this point, we have our full bleeds up. So that's pretty much your basic go-to right there. Now, if you want to stun, go ahead and, stun. But I wouldn't advise clicking your burst until you have full bleeds up. So don't just go out there, click your Deathmark, click your Kingsbane, and then have one garrote on one target. When you don't have Rupture or you don't have your Bone Spike, it's not going to be a fun time. So, don't pop your burst until you know you have full bleeds. So Bone Spike, Garrote, and Rupture. And at that point and only then will you be bursting. So, again, you're just going to open like this. Now, after you get your Garrotes off and your Ruptures, go ahead and just throw a Bone Spike. You can do it any other way you want. Like, you can go out Garrote, Bone Spike, and Rupture. Usually what I'll do is I'll just run out there, Garrote, 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 Bone Spike, Bone Spike, Bone Spike, and then just Rupture. I mean, it's literally just whatever way you want to do it. Obviously, you're not just going to get a free reign to bleed everything with no, somebody's going to stop you from doing something. So it's not like this is not going to be your bet. Like, they're going to CC you. The moment you come out, they're going to go after you. So if you do not get it, it's not the end of the world. It's just a lot of extra damage if you get those growths. But this is basically your triple bleeding. So this is how you want this up 100% uptime on both targets. So Rupture, full Rupture, so at least minimum of 4 points of a Rupture, and then a Garrote, and then you want your Bone Spike. Now after that point, you're pretty much good to go. I kind of use Echo on my kidney go, so don't just don't even bother echoing if you're not kidneying. So kidney shot, then Echo. That way you're getting those blue points on your kidney and you're getting some pressure because you do get a decent amount of pressure with it. So after you get your bleeds off, so let's say there's only 2 targets, you sap the healer, whatever. Um, if you sap the healer and it's a more of a fast-paced game, so if it's solo shuffle, it's a little bit different. You're gonna sap or blind, and then you're immediately gonna cheap shot and then just bleed. So you're gonna sap, run over to this guy, the main target. You can double cheap if you want to. That's your call if you want to do that. So you can run over here, cheap shot him, cheap shot him, garrote, garrote, and then rupture, and then get your bleeds up. Now we're not bursting until we have our bleeds up. So the next kidney we can either bleed or we can just blind and do it right now. It all comes down to situational. Usually you can hold off your burst a little bit, but let's say you do get the sap. It just depends. It honestly, if they don't click anything and you get full bleeds really quick, and like let's say I get a full sap and I have full bleeds up, I have my bone spike, I have my rupture, and I have my garrote, and I have my shiv, because obviously shiv, you want to shiv every stun no matter what. Then you can blind, and you want to use your, in solo shuffle specifically, you want to use your death mark every single time it's up with King's Bane. So, and Shadow Dance. So every 1 minute you're using it pretty much. So you're using King's Bane with Shadow Dance, you're using Death Mark with Shadow Dance, you're using everything together other than like Death Mark's 2 minutes, these are 1 minute. So again, show you one more time just for the basic rotation. So let me just vanish you. Okay, so you're gonna go out, garrote this guy, rupture him, bone spike him, bone spike the other guy, and a rupture. So now we have our full bleeds up. At this point, get our common points up, and at this point we can kidney shot and just do our rotation. So usually I like the pre-echo, so that means I already have them. And then what I'll do is I'll, kidney shot, use my shadow dance, shiv, and then do everything. So kidney shot, use my shadow dance, shiv, King's Bane, death mark. I'm gonna re-rupture because it's falling off, and at this point I'm just hitting those, blue dots. So as you can see, every time I mutilate, it's gonna hit those dots, and then I'm gonna reapply growth as I'm doing burst. And that's pretty much it. It's literally the most basic thing that you can do. Now, how are you going to be using your shiv? You're going to shiv every single kidney. So off your kidney, all you're going to be doing is bleeding these guys. Don't go and bleed the healer. A lot of people have a really bad habit of doing that. Unless you plan on going healer, don't bleed them. Because there's a reason for that. So every time you want a kidney shot, because off DR, it's going to be about 20 seconds. Gouges, I think, is like 30, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so it's 20. So every DR that you kidney, you're going to be able to go gouge this guy. So, again, get your bleeds up on everything. So, again, we're getting bleeds up. We got full bleeds on everybody. We're going to, before we gouge, we can go ahead and pre-echo, have that already up, go to this guy, gouge this guy, and then we can kidney shift. And then, obviously, we'll have our bleeds up beforehand, but that's pretty much all there is to it. Now, again, you're using your Shadow Dance with your King's Bane. Now, you pretty much want to use it the moment it's up. That way, by the time it's up again, your death mark's going to go on perfect timing. So don't use, if your burst, let's say your death mark's 30 seconds away, don't use your King's Bane and your Shadow Dance. Just wait. Like, you have to use it you have 10 seconds after a minute to use it, or it's going to be too long in between. So just make sure even if you don't have CC, just go ahead and use it. Because you might as well just get another one off. Because I see a lot of people, they're holding their cooldowns for no reason, and they're trying to play it like it's like they're playing sub-rogue back in Shadowlands, where you actually had to play good. No, you don't have to do that anymore. You literally just go out, throw all your CDs. Obviously, defensive-wise, you have to do a little bit, that's a little bit difference, but offensive-wise, go out there, bleed everything. If you really want to, go ahead and just burst in the opener. So, let's say you get the sap off, you just go ahead and just open on this guy. Now, usually I'll just garrote, kidney shot, and then go ahead and just burst. Like, literally just full send, and then by the time you get everything off, you're just going to be able to rupture him. So while you're bursting, as you can see, my shiv gives me combo points, and I'm literally bursting in the opener, and that's all you're doing. So if you want to do that, go for it. It's no big deal. Now, I would probably rather wait until you can get a kidney shot, because you're going to get more pressure during the kidney shots. Because obviously, your echoes and your venoms, when you hit the blue dots, are going to hit really hard. But you're not going to get much of those off in a cheap shot. So, another thing you can do, by the way, is if you know you're going to preemptively be cheap shotting, if you guys didn't know, your cheap shot, or your Shadow Dance, I meant, is going to give you subterfuge. So every time you Shadow Dance, you can actually garrote them and get the, you can get the bonus Master Assassin. So you get the, benefits of the garrote. So just so you guys know that, or not, but you get improved garrote, and then you also get master assassin. I'm 90% sure. Let's see. Uh, Give it a second. Yeah, so you get master assassin and you get improved. So at that point, you can just go ahead and while you're bursting, go ahead and just throw out some garrotes if you want. It's your call. But if you know you're going to be bursting, another thing you can do is you can also use your kidney shot for CC. So let's say you have Shadow Dance up, you have your burst, and you let's say you're having a this guy's literally just topped off the entire game. We need CC on the healer. Go ahead and just run over here. So let's say you got your bleeds up. So we got our bleeds up here. Got full bleeds. Gonna put on everybody here. At this point, we have Shadow, or let's say we had Shadow Dance up. All we're gonna do is if this guy is just doing unhealable healing and there's nothing we can do about it, just go over to him and kidney shot him. So just kidney shot him and then Shadow Dance cheap shot these guys. And as you can see, that entire duration is 5 seconds. And we're gonna and off that, if you really wanted to, you can run over and off the kidney shot when that bleed falls. Go ahead and just throw a gouge. And right there, while your teammates are just hitting this guy in the face, you'll also have bleeds on him, and that's how you CC. So basically, every time you have Shadow Dance, if you know this guy is not taking CC, go ahead and kidney or cheap shot him. Now you can Shadow Dance, kidney him, or you can just go over to him and cheap shot him, and then do your go. So that's pretty much it. Now off your burst, again, you're just keeping up your bleeds. Every time, don't just shiv for no reason. So shiv every kidney. Now let's say, he's super low HP, go ahead and throw a shiv out. But like otherwise, you're not just gonna be shivving off CD because you'll run out and then you won't have them for the kidney shots. It's gonna be really bad. For your poisons, you're running wound poison and you're running crippling, and you're keeping your bone spikes, keeping your growths, keeping your ruptures up. You're only gonna echo whenever you're doing your kidney goes. So every time you have a kidney shot, go ahead and preemptively echo, or you could even echo after for the extra combo points. Usually I preemptively do it so I can spam my mutilates into the venoms, so I'm getting the mutilates off so I can get energy or the combo points. But again, it's up to you at that point. So your call, do whatever you would like to do. Now this is basically the basic version. There's nothing really special about this. Again, Assassination is a very easy spec. Now how are you going to use your cloak? How are you going to use your vanish? And how are you going to use your feint and evasion? Now it's the same thing as sub rogue. It's a little bit different because you don't have resets. You don't have CDR or nothing. So as Assassination rogue, you guys are going to have to get in the habit of using your cooldowns whenever your healer is either CC'd immediately or they're popping cooldown. So let's say I have a melee on me and he's popping, Avatar, or he's popping, um, just any type of offensive CD really. So blades, any burst. So anytime a guy is clicking their cooldowns, just go ahead and trade. Now if your healer's not CC'd, then you don't have to immediately. But you still, like, if you go under 80% or 70% and you know that you don't have a defensive cooldown, one of your teammates have to trade. There's no healer in the game that can out-heal somebody's burst damage by healing alone, other than a Resto Druid if maybe you're, like, higher rated. But you're never getting hit by one person. You're always getting hit by two. So the moment they start clicking their cooldowns, unless you have a defensive CD, whether it's PS, Ironbark, Dome, it needs to be something something on you that where you're like, okay, well, I'm going to be alright. Now, if they do not use something on you, you have to use then it's your trade. Even if they're not CC, then they're not going to be able to heal through that damage. So, if they pop CDs on me, and I evasion at 30%, I'm probably going to die through it. If they're popping their burst on me, I'm getting chaos bolted, and I cloak at 30%, this guy's going to have to do more healing. He's going to be more panicked to do stuff. So you need to be doing stuff. You just trade your cooldowns whenever they trade theirs. So now if your healer clicks something on top of what you clicked, it is what it is. But when they click a CD on you, just go ahead and hold. Sometimes if you go under 50 or 40%, then you're going to be forced. But a lot of the times if they click something high, you're going to be fine. So just get used to clicking stuff whenever you don't have something on you. Whenever they click burst damage, if they don't immediately put something on you in the first 5 or 6 seconds, you're probably going to have to click something, maybe even faster because of the amount of damage that's going on. If a Ret Paladin wings and a Windwalker burst, or a DH, uses his burst, his Essence Break or something, or an MM uses their burst, you're going to have to trade. So in the first 2 or 3 seconds, you should have already clicked something if somebody didn't. Now, if the healer CC'd or something, it's up to you. Always up to you. Don't let your healer trade. It's up to all you. The moment your healer CC'd, okay, well, at that point, um, he's gonna think that I'm gonna be able to click something. Now, if you're in a smoke bomb, like if you're facing a rogue, you don't want to trinket unless you're in a smoke bomb, because obviously your healer has to trade, because no healer is gonna be able to save you in smoke bomb. It's obviously situational, but again, as long as you just get in the habit of, oh, okay, so he's not clicking anything on me, he's not gonna be able to heal this damage, so I'm going to have to trade. If you do that, you're gonna make your healers a lot happy, and that's just how that goes. So you have to trade your cooldowns. That's a main issue that I've seen everybody having. They'll click stuff at 20%, die through it, and they'll be like, "Oh, I died through every CD." Well, yeah, no, yeah, obviously, because you're using it at a percentage to where it's like, okay, you're cool, you don't have bubble, and even then, it's just gonna get MD'd. So it's like if there's a priest in the lobby, but like that's pretty much it. You're just gonna double bleed, shiv on every kidney, echo on every kidney. Once you have all your bleeds up, Shadow Dance, King's Bane, Death Mark. Obviously, in your Shadow Dance macro, you'll have Thistle, so you're gonna get that mastery buff. And off that, you're just gonna be slicing dicing. So after you have all your bleeds up, you're just envenoming, and you're gonna keep slicing dice up, because obviously you're gonna be running a thing right here, Recuperator. It's gonna heal you and give you maximum HP. So go ahead and just throw out a 5 common point, a slice and dice while you're out here. If you already have your bleeds up, you know you have bleeds up, everything's off DR, go ahead and just throw a slice and dice up. And then at this point, again, you're just going to get your echoing up. That's what I usually do. You can even do it after. It's not really the end of the world. Go ahead and just go run up to this guy, gouge him, kidney shot, Shadow Dance, Shiv, Kingsbane, Deathmark. And at this point, we're just literally pumping with the Venoms and Mutilates. And then we're just reapplying bleeds as they fall off. So, boom. And at this point, there we go. Now you don't have to put if you have bursts on somebody and this guy like runs away, don't just sit on the other target and try to get like a 5 common point rupture. Just literally try to get like a 3 or 4 and then just go back to the main target. So while you're bursting, literally just sit on this guy with shivs. So while your burst is up, just literally shiv the shiv. So I shiv one time, even if he's not stunned, go ahead and shiv again. Now if he's not dying at all, then don't bother. But like usually if you pop every CD, he's gonna go down like 50% with your teammate. Go ahead and just shiv the shiv. So what that means is you're going to use double shiv. So you're going to shiv the first time, and then off this shiv. So after after it falls off, we're going to shiv again while our death mark is on him. Now that's only with death mark. I wouldn't really do that with Kingsbane or nothing else, but like, because obviously you really need your shivs per kidney, otherwise they're just going to heal through it, because your wound poison is pretty good, but it's not like insane. But with your vanish, again, you can vanish in 2 ways. Now, usually, if you know your healer's got you and you're fine, what I like to do is, let's say you're blinding. A good habit for you guys to do is, honestly, it's like give or take. It doesn't matter too much, but it does matter at the same time. So, if you have blind, and let's say you know your teammates, this guy's DR'd or something, go ahead and just run up to this guy and do like the sub rogue strat. Kidney this guy. And then you're just going to blind, and then you'll vanish. So here I'll blind off the kidney. And then I'm just going to keep pumping. And then off the blind, I'm going to vanish, and then I'm going to sap it. So obviously you're wasting your defensive CD to get that blind. Again, if you, like I said, blind's 5 seconds. So you're not going to be able to blind and then sap off. It's not possible unless he's already out of combat. So you have to do something in, beforehand. Whether it's a DR gouge, like whether you're gouging first into a blind, into a DR sap, it is, if you know that you're not going to be safe, just having that extra 2 or 3 second gouge is going to be alright. So let me know what you guys think about this video. My bad for being so long. I've been trying to, I didn't know if I really want to upload it or if you guys actually wanted to see it that bad, but I've gotten a lot of messages, so hopefully this gives you a better insight on what's going on in the game. Now your smoke bombs, last thing, when you're smoke bombing, your best thing is whenever, let's say your healer, when the healer has trinket, you want to smoke bomb. Now, usually on your burst, you're going to be smoke bombing every single kidney. So every time while you're bursting, unless the healer's on top of you, go ahead and just kidney and then bomb, and then do your burst. That's when you're bombing. Another point when you're bombing is when the healer has trinket and this DPS doesn't have. So let's say this guy, my main target, doesn't have trinket, and the healer does. So I'm going to run over this guy, gouge him, or CC him in any way, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to kidney bomb, forcing him to have to run in. So while he's running in here, who knows? Your teammate might have some CC. There could be a bunch of situations. Making that guy come into the bomb gives you an extra, it gives you an extra 3 seconds just to do damage, and that 3 seconds with like Shiv on top of them is gonna do a lot. And then obviously you're just going to be using your Echo pretty much with your Kingsbane because it's 1 minute pretty much. It's not really a must-need thing. You can kind of just use it off CD every kidney, but if you really wanted to, go ahead and just save it for your Kingsbane, and you'll have that extra burst if that's what you're going for. But hopefully, last thing, obviously I'm kind of missing a few things, but with your feint, click feint off CD. Now if you're having a thing to where you're having a problem, the moment you're getting damaged, just go ahead and click it. Just go boom, click a feint. So the moment you're getting touched, like let's say you're getting swapped to or anything, go ahead and, or if you're getting AoE'd by something, just click it off CD. So the moment this falls, I'm just clicking it off CD. And that's all you're doing. You go ahead and just do that. There's no point in using it good. It's better that you use it like just off CD than to just not use it at all, or try to use it and just like by the time a lot of people try to hold their CDs for like good usage, and that's just not how the game is anymore. The game is all just PvE to win. So everyone just needs to get in that mindset, and we will probably have more fun. I ain't gonna lie, and I'm saying that on a personal level because every time I play non-rogue, I have a great time just PvEing everybody down. So I think my calling is DEH. I ain't gonna. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think about it. If you guys are interested in coaching or carries, PM me on my Discord. Otherwise, enjoy the video. Join out my community below the Discord. We have about 350 members so far. We're getting up there. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. If you haven't already, comment for the algorithm. It always helps the X out in the time of need. But otherwise, have a good rest of your night or day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.